All right, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. I'm back. Speaking of jump scare, it's actually me. It's actually me. It's me though, I promise. Excuse me. Ugh. Goodness. Oh, I forgot to fill my water. I'll take a break when we're done with games and fill my water. I'll take a break. Button? There we go. Ninja, how are ya? Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball 2. Carnation. Carnation, thank you for the 105 stream streak. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm so frustrated. Nagashi's new game has been basically canceled. So wild with where we are in with games and shit. Doing well, it's Friday? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it is. Excuse me. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna guess like Champions of Norad. Like they don't have Champions of Norad. Is this 40K Fire Warrior? No, because they don't have that. Because they don't have that. Torchlight 3? Could be. It's a weird... No. Overlord. Maybe. In the way that Overlord comes up a bunch. No. These are the most stereotypical demon-y demons. Could it be Saints Row? I think you're right. Carnation? I never played it. Oh. This is a Guilty Gear character, isn't it? May? No. Oh, is it Brisket? Oh, I didn't know Brisket had a bear. I've never seen her depicted with a bear. I'm shocked I got that so fast. I'm a bear, I do like briskets. It's supposed to be older art. I've never seen this art. Or it's newer art. In fact, I don't play Guilty Gear. What do I know? What do I know? These boots are ridiculous. These are super anime JRPG pro tag ass boots. That like, fuck yeah, trans rights. Like this is like, she's in a fighting game, so I guess it makes sense. But also, it's very funny to be like, okay, I've got my regular boots, and then I put my enclosure onto the boots. There's a moon shoes. That's funny. All right. What gender is she listed as? Fucking, there's only one answer. Good. Good. Gamedle. Watching you. Bloody. Religion. Great start. Liberation. AI enemies. That's a weird... Most enemies are AI. I don't understand. What do you mean, Nuja? Vampire survivors? I don't think it's that. Is it in the game you're fighting AI? Oh, like, oh, that might be a, that might be it, D, that like it's in the narrative of the game that it's controlled by AI. I see what you're saying. That would make sense. That would explain why it's phrased that way. What did Blood Rain come to mind? Blasphemous isn't a bad guess. There's not a lot of games that like deal with religious thing. Well, that's true and false. Horde mode, mod origin, limited ammo, friendly fire. More games should involve slutty vampires eating Nazis. I mean, you know, I'm not against about. I'm not against it like as a concept. Like, yeah, go for it. Mod origin seems to me like it is the basis for a modded version that became more popular. Killing Floor is weird because I don't think I mean, listen, again, in the way, I don't know anything about like the story or lore or whatever the fuck of Killing Floor. Like, I don't think it's anything about religion or liberation. Mod origin means stuff like Dota 2 or Dota was the mod. No, I would argue, yes, but I would argue it's the other way. Mod origin would be Dota. Like, that's how I understand it. I mean, I guess I could see it the other way where it's like it's it feels ambiguous in a way that I don't like. Indie on PC, because I think Blasphemous made it to consoles. So maybe it's Killing Floor. I don't know anything about Killing Floor. I know those devs suck ass. Splash damage, squad tank. Oh, is this like GTFO or what's that one? What's that other one? It's like Eternal Winter or something like that. It's something like, it's newer. It had robots. Forever winter. I mean, I guess it's not that because it's not like I searched winter, so it's not, you know. Modern military says it's not natural selection. Yeah, and natural selection isn't AI anymore. You know, I can appreciate that it takes a lot of work to like put these together and code and all of that, but also there's like 19 FIFA games, so. The Division? No, it's not. It wouldn't be like half of those. Insurgency? I don't know anything about it. It's weird to have something that's modern military and religion. You said that? This doesn't look good. I'm gonna... That doesn't look good. You just ignore it. I just met... Sorry, I can't read every single message. Just gonna not give Carnation the point because you fucking...
That's your fault, mattcaulder.
You're complaining pants. So guess what? Talk shit about the person who awards the points. Guess what happens to your points? That's how this works. No, I'm not gonna do that because if I do, I'll fucking hear about it for 18
We're
years.
We're queer. Eat shit.
I'll hear about it for 18 years from Nix and Emily and Enna and Fawn, and I'll fucking... The next 5 years of my life will be about this one moment. Okay. It's not Mario Kart. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's not Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog because it has some sort of co-op. Has some sort of multiplayer co-op something. It's also not a shooter. That's good. That's good. Yeah, so multiplayer or co-op, but it has one of them. Split Fiction. Split Fiction's a good idea. Okay, 2025. You can technically play the side games with multiple players. Can you still do that? I don't think you can do that. It's a platformer. Still iffy on the perspective. It's a platformer. It's not an indie game. Not an indie game. It is not fantasy or sci-fi. It's on PC. Puyo Puyo Tetris. Why not? The Rogue Prince of Persia? Did that have multiplayer? Tended to see if there was a 2025 Sonic game with multiplayer I can say is a bit now. I don't think Rogue Prince of Persia had multi. Okay, I didn't think so. Sonic Rumble. Of course it's in here already. Of course it's Sonic Rumble. Of course it's Sega would rather make Fall Guys than give Fall Guys a license. Like, look at this. This is me. This is me every time Enna comes in the chat to yell at me. That's me. You're dead ringer for Big the Cat. I look exactly the same. I look exactly the same. I feel like I recognize this. No, it's not Valkyria Chronicles. I don't, well. This is the UK Forza Horizon. It's not rendered right for Valkyria. No, I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think it has the right art style, but I was like, with it zoomed in, it could be. Yeah, Forza's a solid guess. It's one of the houses you can buy? I forget you can buy houses in those games. Stolen? Stolen in the sense that Green Bean guessed first? Okay. Green Bean didn't say the name. You recruit a bunch of neighborhood children to engage in unpaid athletic labor in random empty lots. Backyard baseball? No. A tactical management simulator where you must balance the egos of a wheelchair-bound kid and a boy who literally doesn't know what planet he's on. What? %99% sure it's a backyard sports game. I have no idea how to narrow it down. I mean, I would hope, guess the game has the ability to say like, oh, it's not backyard baseball, but it is like, a sports game where the most feared athlete in the world is a tiny Spanish-speaking child whose belly hangs out of his shirt. It's baseball. I guess basketball. I said basketball.
You gotta get your together, Matt.
Okay, that one's deserved. I'll take that one. Your point? No. I said baseball at the beginning. I just put the wrong thing. Picking the right mascot and a kid named Pablo guarantees you will crush every other team of unsupervised minors. That's very funny. That's very funny. How do you do backyard basketball? How do you do basketball in your backyard? You need specific equipment for basketball. Like, front way driveway basketball. Driveway basketball. I had a hoop in my backyard on the grass. Yep, that's bad decision. Ugh. There, I said it first. All right, listen. We're gonna turn this car around. We're gonna turn this car around if we start. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. We can open the storage unit. I can also heal if I don't fuck this up, but I feels very likely that I'm gonna fuck it up. I fucked it up. Okay, no enemies, some enemies. Okay. On a bit of a whim, you decide to test the key to your storage unit on this identical storage unit. You're only mildly surprised when it works and the door swings open. Personal possessions remain where you left them. Reverse Philosopher's Stone. Offensive spell, transmute health into money. Okay. I'm not going to do that. I can sell some water. Let's buy some bread. All right. Yeah, try to earn some food. Oh, I died to the fire. I died to my own fire. I thought you were immune to fire. No, that was the other job. I forgot. I forgot I wasn't that job anymore. And so I was like, yeah, whatever, fire. It's whatever. Whatever. Not whatever. Okay. You wake in your office as if you had just completed a brief nap. You suppose brief is also a fair description of the word that the court just participated in. You know, maybe you could just get back to work right away. You remain you remain a little bit restless after that quick excursion. You're not sure you're in the mood to socialize with your courtiers today. They do tend to go on and on. You're pretty certain you won't miss anything if you just return to the war immediately. No, I don't, no. See, I gotta go learn. See, you almost fucking made me lose the opportunity to learn magic. Game? Jerk? Perhaps someone could clear this up for me. What exactly is a mortal? Let me try. See, the mortal world is akin to a massive court. Its courtiers, mortals, are notorious for their bizarre practice of staying dead. Staying dead? They don't get bored of it after a while? They don't. Or at least none of them have yet. I'd say they're firmly committed to the lifestyle. That's pretty funny. All right. You decide to take Skip up on her offer to teach you some magic. An individual possessed of decision-making power within a magical institution, you feel it is in your best interest to learn some of the basics. Unfortunately, one of the first facts you learn about magic is there's no such thing as the basics. Skip stands before you wearing powerfully luminescent academic robes. She waves a piece of chalk about as if it were a wand. It might be. Magic is capricious and flighty, a leaf enamored of the breeze. Its rules change with irregular regularity. To attempt to wield it is a task for scoundrels. To attempt to teach it is a task for fools. Fortunately, like all wizards, I'm both. Hop stands in his seat next to you, both a clown and a criminal. Just another frightened ape hurled naked and screaming onto this hell of an earth. Skip takes a bow and Hop claps. Right. This is the first lesson on magic. Any questions? You look at the list of questions you've prepared in advance, many relating to the second law of thermodynamics, and feel a tiny bit foolish. While you consider, Hop jumps in with a question. What's with the outfit? I'm so glad you asked. Do you like it? It's stunning. You're stunning. But what I really mean is, what's the spell it's got on it? Oh, this is just a moderate enchantment that enhances my teaching ability. I see. Trying to impress Her Majesty, I suppose. Obviously. Well, it certainly worked on me. How's it constructed? Skip begins a long and technical explanation on the enchantment on her robe, but the important parts can be summed up thusly. Skip claims that her robes draw their power from a collective understanding of what a lecturer looks and dresses like. By imitating an archetype, in this case the archetype of lecturer, Skip is able to draw on some of its power. Skip now bows again and Hop claps. You, however, retain a certain amount of your mortal skepticism. This explanation rings a bit hollow to you, particularly since contemporary lecturers generally don't wear formal regalia while teaching. If anything, modern regalia is most commonly associated with inexperienced recent graduates. As you voice this thought aloud, the glow on Skip's robe promptly fades and sputters out. The two scholars both stop talking and stare at you for a few seconds. You aren't sure what's happened, but you have a distinct feeling that it is definitely your fault. You're on the verge of apologizing for whatever it is you did when the two of them break the silence. Well done, Your Majesty. Oh my, oh geez. I've never seen such an elegant and powerful disenchant spell. You simply must show us how to cast it. I nominate Her Majesty to lead the next seminar. I second. All in favor? The two of them raise their hands to indicate their affirmative voices. The cat, asleep in the corner for the entire lecture, now also raises a single paw. Then it's settled. We look forward to your lecture, Your Majesty. And so the first lesson on the fundamentals of magic concludes with you on the hook to prepare and present the next such lesson. It's gonna go great. It's gonna go great, let me tell you. You know what? This was a good time. Let's go back to burning everything. Oh, by any chance, could I get one of those, Your Majesty? Sure, why not? Many thanks. I've heard these are a potential cure for many ailments. Really? That's a bit of a surprise since among mortals at least, they're completely understood to be the opposite. Oh yes, I know they'll kill you, but they won't kill me, so I'm free to use them as a balm for my many agonies. You and he both, you suppose. You may ask what are the agonies he's attempting to soothe. Heartbreak, mostly. You see, I thought Goodfellow and I had a fine and intimate fellowship, but recently I get the impression I've been dumped. We've always oscillated between distance and intimacy, he and I. It's part of our whole routine, but this time it's different. You see, since Your Majesty's arrival, he's been quite plainly avoiding me, even going so far as to dive out of a window at my approach. The unfortunate conclusion I've drawn is that I was never more than a trifling bedfellow to him. Nothing more than the way to pass the time before his queen arrived and he could assume his station. Not sure he should arrive at that conclusion so quickly. After all, Puck has also been avoiding you, quite conspicuously despite no prior association between the two of you. He considers this for a moment. Is that so? I'm a bit shocked to hear this. Did he not say he would be ever by your side? He did, and yet here you are and here he isn't. Puck's behavior is strange, yes, but given that his inattention is universal, you don't think Hop should abandon hope for their romance. Your Majesty, I must thank you for the medicine. I had not expected such immediate improvement to my condition. Look at that. We're doing things. Let's check our to-do. Achieve victory. We gotta get a win. Sure, extra money to start and extra wood to start. Okay. Gotta stave off those wood deficiencies. Yeah, you know. You know how it goes. We've mostly done it. Raise tiles above you one at a time. Centaur. Jenna. Jenna, hello. New repo update with cosmetics and magic staves May 7th. Ooh. We'll have to play that again soon. I haven't played repo in forever. No, I don't want to undo everything. I just don't want to summon those guys. All right. Now your beautiful shirt matches the game's curtains. It does, you're right. It does, you're right. Yeah, I missed playing Yap Yap with Stumped because I was so out of it. I was so tired from traveling. So I need to play more. I need to play more Repo and finally play some Yap Yap. Ah, the egg. The egg. I want to see you play Yap Yap. Yeah, we were supposed to do it with, or I was supposed to play it with Price, but when we got back from our trip, I was just so tired. Okay. A mysterious egg. You receive a fascinating offer from the egg zone that has appeared on the battlefield. Your Majesty, great to see you again. Still trying to get home? Anyways, do I have an offer for you? He gestures at the large pile of eggs. That's right, you become very proud owner of your very own football. Is he talking about the eggs? Eggs? What eggs? I've only got footballs here. They clearly look like eggs. Your Majesty, they're likely American footballs. I heard those are shaped like eggs. Hey, you're gonna call your football an egg, call it an egg. Who am I to judge? The important part is I'm prepared to part with one of these footballs for an incredibly low price. In fact, I'm prepared to pay you to take one. If he's willing to pay you to take one, there must be a downside. You'd like to know what it is. Raising a football is a big responsibility. Too big for me. You seem like you've really got it together, Your Majesty. You govern a whole magical court. You command vast armies. You ask questions before agreeing to stuff. I can't think of anyone better suited carrying one of these babies to victory. But, well, to answer your question, you know how a game of football works, right? You lose the ball, you get a penalty. Can't keep racking up those penalties, Your Majesty. I'll go broke. I say that's a problem for you. What do you say? I would love... Remember how the football incident ended during Matt's tryout of the demo? You know, listen, it'll be fine. You collect the signing bonus along with the egg. Assume responsibility for shepherding it to victory. It'll be fine. We just light a little fire. And we make sure that it storms there. And then it's fine. See? Speaking of taking care of precious footballs, Matt, did you restart your timing yet? No, because I'm bad. Oh, I don't want to fuck with birds. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. Okay. Leaning against the parapet of the top of the court, you look at the new sign. No smoking. Okay, fine. Gas from behind you. This is the first spell we've encountered that has an effect on Her Majesty, is it not? Must be remarkably powerful. Okay. The enemies are gonna have a hell of a time coming to get me. So we're just gonna work on stocking up on some wood. Sets alarm for Saturday morning at 7:45 to message Matt at a rude hour. Well, hang on now. Whoa, 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 whoa! Calm down, hitting the egg. You're once again drifting through the gap between battles when you receive a sudden urgent word that a visiting dignitary has arrived at the court. As the official representative of Titanium Court in all external matters, it falls on you to meet and entertain this man. He shakes your hand and gets right to the point. Listen, Your Majesty, I don't do big, small talk. No, sir, no, ma'am, I'm all about big talk. I'm talking macro talk, cosmic talk. Big questions, big answers, big numbers, big stakes. Big subjects, like the point of it all. Big questions like why. Big worries like the inevitable decay and death of all things. He stops and considers. Yes, yes, a classic icebreaker. Let us discuss death. Your death, my death, civilization, art, culture, all of this. Headed to the trash bin eventually, but definitively. Everything we are, understand, and love will all be gone. We won't exist. Poof. Pow. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in the grand scheme of things, soon. Soon. Got faith in an afterlife? Worship some sort of higher power? That's nice, but I bet your pretty penny all of that has a sell-by date. This guy is great. I have a personal vendetta against the NFL. The security team sucks and are bad at their jobs. Buddy, let me tell you, this got a lot of reasons not to like the NFL. Let me tell you something. This is even a pessimistic prediction. No, I'll let you know I'm an optimist. I must say, friend, all evidence we have so far suggested that this is a future that is 100% capital G guaranteed. It's likely it's around this moment the potion of liking baseball really kicks in. I like the idea that as this guy is talking to me about the heat death of the universe, my brain is just like, baseball. As the dignitary continues his best attempt at existential assassination, your mind rings with the sound of bat striking ball. Since as long as you can remember, you've suffered from a pattern of intrusive thoughts. Mood. Moments of embarrassment, strength, or anxiety, disturbingly violent images would cross the threshold of your mind, unbidden and unwelcome. These spasms would only last a moment, have no real effect beyond being unpleasant. We've always assumed they were just another piece of the familiar noise, something to tolerate. That is until now. As you walk the dignitary through the courtyard, you now realize the intrusive imagery has changed. What once were scenes of bloodshed and fear are now graceful motion of a batter striking a ball and sending it skyward. The pain and revulsion you once felt are now the aches of muscle and bone after the labor of play. Feels like something in you has been unlocked, releasing a pressure you've never been without. As you're contemplating this minor but welcome change to your internal machinery, you briefly turn your attention once more to the dignitary. You're all part of some kind of cosmic cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Well, I got some bad news for you, bucko. Death is coming for that noise, too. You'll be fine. You let your thoughts drift and play ball. Bring the football to the end zone. Okay, we're thinking about baseball. We're just spending time thinking about baseball. As one does. You know? Is that what the kids call it now? Thinking about baseball? No, that's the opposite. That's the other thing. Money. Hey, look at this. Let's go to, oh, no, we're not the market anymore. God. Oh my God, they killed the centaur immediately. Oh my God. All right. Stare at the window, Shohei. All right. You blink and everything falls apart. You blink again and everything fits together. A nearby witness stops and whistles. Cool trick. Rude. You hear the voice of a man named Puck somewhere nearby. While exploring the library, you suddenly hear the voice of a man named Puck echoing from the floor above you. Yeah, that's him, all right. You discreetly move to a location where you can listen in. Now you can whistle? Can you not? Guys, put another marble in the bag whenever she comes by. It should help keep the flow of events moving. Oh, but don't do it where she can see you. That part's important. Can I interact? Oh, but Her Majesty seems an understanding sort. Why hide it? Puck's voice is tinged with annoyance. I'm not talking about her, I mean the other queen. The other queen. Ah, here we are. You always suspected your royal position was merely ceremonial. You assumed the real power within the court lay with Puck. Now you hear him mention another queen. Very interesting. As you ruminate on this information, you hear the quick approach of Puck's footsteps. Just as he reaches the landing, you emerge from your place of ambush and take him by the arm. If he's surprised, he hides it well, falling into step casually beside you. My queen, punctual as ever. I take it you're adjusting well to your circumstances? You have no complaints about your accommodations, but your circumstances are another matter. A matter that he appears to understand, but continues to neglect to explain. Puck laughs and hands you an envelope. I expect you'll find all of your answers here, but perhaps after a few degrees of separation, but here nonetheless. You take the envelope from him and begin to open it suspiciously. And now I must attend to more business in the other wing, so I will take my leave. Before you can object, a nearby bookcase swings open, revealing a door that quickly enters and shuts behind it. Again, it doesn't budge when you approach, nor can you jostle a random selection of books on the shelf. Given not much of an alternative, you begin reading through the contents of the envelope. Royal recommendations for Her Majesty, the Queen of Titanium Court. 1. Leave. That's it. You sigh. You suspect you'll have to find your answers elsewhere. What you should do, leave. Oh, this was longer than I thought it was going to be. At breakfast, you make another attempt at uncovering details about the war. Specifically, you wonder if there isn't some sort of larger purpose to it. For instance, is it a war fought over territory, resources, ideology? Should one side triumph, what becomes of the other side? Is it even possible for a side to triumph if the combatants are all immortal? I think Her Majesty seeks the point. The point? How nostalgic. I quested after the point once in my youth. Oh, how'd it go? Is Her Majesty right to think it might be found in the war? Yes and no. The war dominates much of Her Majesty's view, whereas the point is said to reside in plain sight, so it's not a bad place to start. But all the current thinking suggests the point actually exists in a dimension beyond our own. What a hassle. I wish Her Majesty the best of travels then. Couldn't be me. Result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. Yep, great. Let's go to my chambers. What's going on? What's going on in here? Shower. Do the things that the game lets me do. While there's no consensus on the full extent of your duties as queen, everyone seems to agree you're in charge of the war. The heaviness of this duty is eased by the fact that your courtiers do not seem to care whether your leadership results in victory or defeat. It's a great way to do a war. But if you had your choice, you would pursue a third option, peace. Sure, the combatants on all sides of the conflict are immortal, meaning violence is free of the standard consequences. But that doesn't change the fact that the court appears to be trapped by this war. You hear your courtiers describe it, the war has been ongoing since any of them can remember. None of them can speak to its origins. None can speak to its purpose. They go through life every day expecting to be violently conquered as a matter of course for reasons beyond their understanding. Immortal or not, such a life strikes you as needlessly tragic, so you've resolved to end this war at the earliest opportunity. To do so, you suspect you will need to learn a lot more about both the enemy and the court. I don't know if there's a time function to it or something like that. It feels like there might be. All right. Get some extra money. And, oh, we receive an egg. Great. Egg is gonna be very tricky for us. Why live immortally waging war when you could live immortally waging love? I mean, I think they do that too. Beautiful. Okay. We're reaching the point where this is becoming like blueprints. Where it's like, all right, how do I do the next thing I gotta do? Like, I can tell there's a new thing. All right. We've uncovered the fabled remote control. You can change the channel when looking at the weather report in the morning. I.e., you can change the boss fight that's coming. Just gonna cash in all my money for tickets whenever I have the chance, because that's... Meta progress is usually the thing that's more useful. Transmutes fighters into lovers. You can't afford it. I hate it here. Okay, they just died. I was like, will they get some... Stop! Oh my God, they blew up the egg. Your courtier is showing a surprising amount of coordination. I'll organize a short memorial service for the demolished ball. As queen of the court, you're naturally expected to deliver a eulogy. You do a brief overview of the ball's memorable qualities, including the fact that it clearly resembled an egg rather than a football. And express a passing regret for its untimely loss. That's it. Honestly, you don't see the need to put any effort beyond that. As the funeral concludes, you must now choose an appropriate penalty for losing the football. No, I'll just take some damage. Fine. Whatever. Oh, replacement egg. Money. Oh, they got here way quicker than I thought. Oh, I didn't. You sit for a time on the side of your bed, trying to will away a headache before the day's work begins. Take another shower. Today you think about movement. Is this the game giving me info in the form of shower thoughts? Specifically, think about how the court is able to move freely during high tide without making any matches. At first, you thought it was merely a useful trick to keep in mind for when no matches were available. But now you realize it's a powerful tool in your strategic arsenal. By moving the court directly at key moments, it's much easier to achieve an advantageous position than if you just relied on matches. Additionally, once the court is in an advantageous position, you can just move it back and forth a few times, thus proceeding with low tide. The game's like, listen, we gave you the ability to cheat, so use it. Try to keep these maneuvers in mind, although you found they can be pretty easy to forget when you're distracted by matches. Something about this painting is strange. Baseball. Seems to be a scoreboard of some kind. Perhaps you can assume that the home refers to the court. Garish, isn't it? What does he mean? I'm speaking of the curse. What curse? The one that's right there. Can you not see it? Is that why the court is littered with them? Can't see whatever he's referring to. You welcome him to explain further. So you don't know of the curses? Really? What is Goodfellow doing? That's what you'd like to know. Well, as far as weighty topics go, this suits me just fine. Curse is a particularly noxious form of magic. It's sticky magic, itchy magic, dirty magic. Garish, unsightly, unsanitary. Every house has its share of curses, but it's remarkably poor manners to leave them out when company is over. You glance at the scoreboard, wondering if you're supposed to feel embarrassed. But for talented wizards, lifting curses makes for good sport. I have many a fond memory of hunting them down in my own youth. Yes, you seem to have a certain amount of talent yourself, Your Majesty. You've lifted some curses already, haven't you? I can tell. Since your steward appears to be shirking his duties, perhaps you should take over. Okay, well, you're not sure how you could even begin lifting curses, on purpose at least. There should be a book on them somewhere. Goodfellow used to keep good records. But now I've tired of this topic. Come, let's discuss. He's already wandered out of hearing before you learn of his next conversational fixation. All right, well, let's go to the dining hall. Have breakfast. You've noticed that fairies possess similar table manners to mortals, with at least one exception. Whenever you politely ask them to pass you a dish from across the table, they do so by passing along the perimeter of the table away from you. Such as the dish takes the longer leg of the circuit on its path around the table, eventually arriving in position. You struggle to conclude whether this practice, consistent and unspoken, is mostly charming or mostly irritating. All right. Robin brings an item to your attention. Robin, hello. Your Majesty, among my notebooks, I found one that belongs to you. This comes as a surprise. You didn't have any books on your person when you arrived at court, so how could she have found one that belongs to you? I don't know, but it identifies you as its owner. Look. She's correct. On the inner cover, you find your own name written in your own handwriting. Curious, you open the book and read through some of the pages. The book is structured like a journal. Each entry describes a real memory from your time in the court. All these entries are written in your handwriting, use your personal shorthand, and employ many of your preferred turns of phrase. To your embarrassment, your literary affectations are painfully visible in these pages. It'd be difficult to argue you didn't write this, except, well, you didn't. You've no memory of writing any of this. As far as you know, this is the first time you've laid eyes on this journal. Is that out of the ordinary? All of my own journals function that way. She has no memory of writing in any of her journals? None, except for this one. She points to the notebook she's writing in presently. Well, you suppose the court is a place of magic. Shouldn't be too surprising to discover a journal that skips a step in the writing process. You resolve to further investigate this journal in the near future, but in the meantime, you thank Robin for bringing it to your attention. Let's review the journal. Included at the front of your journal is an entry describing how you first arrived at court. Oh, so this lets us review things that have happened. Perhaps you can watch a baseball game in the chapel? A few lines into this entry and you suddenly realize you've been rereading the same sentence the past few minutes. You try again. A few lines in this entry, you suddenly realize you've been rereading the same sentence for the past few minutes. You shake your head and make another attempt. So far, so good. Why are you so distracted today? A few lines in this entry, you suddenly realize you've been rereading the same sentence for the past few minutes. Okay, this is starting to get annoying. It's as if this text in your journal is generally trying to elude you. You can just give up. This memory probably isn't important. But no, come on. There's one thing you've proven yourself able to do. It's read. After an immense amount of concentration, you finally piece together the events as described by your journal. With the full picture in front of you, this memory, missing until now, snaps into place with all of the grace of a soda machine dispensing a can. Here it is. You've taken note of the fact that the court's chapel contains a television at the pulpit. I've never been to the chapel, so it doesn't surprise you to learn that the television is good working order and capable of picking up a variety of signals. After all, the plumbing works fine, so why not this? You flip through the channels. You don't have much interest in any of the shows, but there's one thing you would like to find. And find it you do. A baseball game in progress, channel 22. The team's unfamiliar, but that doesn't matter. The familiar sounds of the game give you an immediate comfort you didn't realize you lacked until. Your scholars, sharing a love for the game of similar origin of your own, wander in and wordlessly join you on the cushioned pews in the front row. The home team is trailing, but only by 2 runs. Still the bottom of the second inning, the future shimmers with possibility. Some time passes. You understand that you're only half paying attention to the game, but this feels like the ideal amount of attention to pay. Hop, who remains adamant that he must not explain any of the rules of baseball to him, is describing his theories about the game. Skip is listening and taking notes. So as far as I understand it, there are multiple teams in competition. I've counted at least 4 teams, but there could exist more that have yet to be revealed. At first, the goal of the game was unclear to me, but after a few rounds, I think I have a good grasp of it. Fascinating. In my best estimation, the goal of the game is to sell insurance. A common strategy appears to involve the use of comedic skits which employ frequent non sequiturs, which I must say is exactly what I'd want out of a test of athletic talents. Though I suppose it's no surprise that I would like this game given the potion wheel trick. What else? Oh, many of the teams have recurring mascots acting as key representatives of their particular brand of insurance. You're debating whether you should try to direct his attention toward the actual game when the actual game is actually interrupted. A strange signal overtakes the screen, distorting the visuals and producing an eerie sound. Out of the noise, a message begins to play. You move close to the television to better hear it. The message is at hard times to make out, but here's the gist of it. The speaker identifies themselves as the representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command. They speak of a new age of human evolution, one of wisdom and peace that awaits any who accept their benevolent aid. However, the Ashtar Galactic Command will only welcome into its fold those individuals who seek to put down their weapons and abandon war. Does this not sound like Her Majesty? Yes, Her Majesty hates the war. The message concludes by encouraging any individuals who meet their criterion to reach out their hands. Her Majesty should do it. Sure, why not? You do it. As you touch the screen, the test pattern wavers and the voice responds. Thank you for your interest in the agency's mission of peace and wisdom. A representative will be with you shortly. The most beautiful music you've ever heard begins emanating from the television, but is quickly cut short as a new voice interjects. Hi, this is the voice of Vrillian, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. One moment while I pull up your file. I see. You appear to be a mesh in an ancient conflict among orthogonal entities on the planet you call Earth. Is that a way of saying you're trapped in a magic fairy war? One moment while my translator catches up. I see. The answer to your query is yes. These sorts of fairy conflicts are very common and, due to their highly allegorical nature, nearly inescapable. But here is some good news. The agency has both the resources and the will to establish a lasting and prosperous peace, even in situations such as yours. To achieve this peace, however, we must first deploy a peace-building team to your proximate area. This will take about 22,222 of your solar orbits. After all, we are very far away. But worry not, we will maintain frequent communication. For instance, I will contact you next with an updated ETA in about 222 of your solar orbits. Please look forward to it. Until then, we have the Ashtar Galactic Command. Thank you for your attention. Just abruptly as it started, the signal fades. As the interruption subsides, the television returns to the game. Your scholars offer you congratulations. You're a bit perplexed. What are they congratulating you for? Is it not obvious for ending the war? Yes, we understood this to be one of your Majesty's great objectives, and now she's seen it through. You think they might be getting their hopes up. Even if you were to believe every word that came out of the television, the war will not end until 22,000 years from now. Yet you have guaranteed that it will end. For an immortal war, this is an incredible feat. Yes, ending a fairy war is pretty much impossible, yet Her Majesty has summoned a machine god that promises to do just that. Probably one of the only methods I could imagine working, really. We did a thing? We lifted the curse of war. Let's go. Unsure how to feel about their conclusions, you glance back to the baseball game. I'm so glad I poked around in this journal. Two innings have passed, but the score remains the same. And that's the gist of what happened. Are you finally satisfied? Oh, that's odd. You don't recall the events described in this entry. While idly flipping through the pages of your journal, you come upon an entry you have no recollection of experiencing. Even stranger, the entry is mistakenly written in your hand and uses many of your personal shorthands and preferred phrases. Pore over the mysterious entry in detail. This might take a while. Yeah, what else am I gonna do? You start going over the entry in detail, using your knowledge of your own shorthand to piece together the sequence of events it describes. First, you flip through the page backwards, looking for the entry's starting point. Eventually, you come across a page with the following text. Oh, Chapter 2, 3 billion kids in a trench coat. What? This initial entry describes your daily routine in an enigmatic institution referred to as only the Clockwork Monastery. We're in the future? This routine begins with you waking up in a tiny windowless cell surrounded by clocks and machinery. Soon enough, the clocks begin to chime, the door swings open, and you fall in line behind countless others. Then you spend most of the day waiting in line. Is this because we ended the war? When you reach the front of the line, you're handed a single marble by a smiling monk sitting at a desk. Then you're directed to a new line. The pattern establishes itself quickly. You wait in line, receive a marble, then wait in another line. Eventually, the monk handing you marbles takes your marbles instead, and your daily labors are officially concluded. Returning to your cell, there's nothing left to do but sleep. As you drift off, the machinery surrounding you begins to hum, producing rhythmic noises, displaying waveforms, printing transcripts. All of this buzz serves to usher you gently into the dream. In describing this dream, the handwriting in your journal undergoes a change. Your familiar scrawl is still present, but it appears to be written over many times, as if multiple hands trace the same words. To be honest, it's difficult to decipher, both because of its relative illegibility, and because of what it's attempting to describe. Your best attempt at interpretation. The dream is some kind of collective vision shared by every resident of the monastery. Your journal describes the feeling of slipping into the dream as a sensation of having and being all the marbles. Eventually, the chaos of this new collectivism coheres into a single perspective. You, all of you, look through the only windows to be found in the monastery, your eyes. You stand on tentative new legs. The shifting of weight across your whole body is unfamiliar, as if you woke up wearing constrictive new clothes. But still, you ache to step forward. Something familiar is calling you. Yes, yes. Come to mama. To start, use this button to plan a step forward. Plan another step. Rather than cross water, you turn clockwise. We taking mattcaulder to court? Hello. Anna, hello. Okay, so we're doing fucking Corel programming. Anna, hello. We're gonna... Anna, how are you? The strike from your mother surprises more than it stings. You're briefly knocked off your feet, but you sense no malice in it. Very good, my sweet, very good. High five! Oh, careful now. Are you hungry? How about we take a snack break? Snack break! Snack time, my sweet. Go ahead and take your pick. Okay. Use this card to gather 4... Oh. Fat Mary Rumpelstiltskin already? No. Balanced diet is important. Make sure you get enough fiber and protein. We'll gather different resources from different tiles. I know what you're really after, my sweet. If you want honey, you can find it in beehives. Gathering from beehives will earn you 2 honey. Honey is very important for growth, my sweet. Make sure you eat as much of it as you can find, but watch out. Beehives are often defended by bees. I hate bees. Bees can sting, but you shouldn't be afraid of them, darling. You're much bigger. They should be afraid of you. Stomp your surroundings to defend yourself. It takes 2 stomps to destroy a beehive. Now you're ready to feast. This is wild. Was that tasty, darling? You're getting so good at walking. Let's see how far you can go. I'll stand over here. Your mother swims a fair distance away. Now, my sweet, once again, come to mama. Okay, I'm just gonna pick some things. Let's review my to-do list here. Lift all of the curses placed upon the court. 1 of 13. That's so many curses. Read more about your time in the mysterious Clockwork Monastery. I guess that's what we're doing now. Until Matt marries me and we fall on each other's sword during a heavily erotic sword fight with us embracing and crying as we die. Only then will Brian give me away. Okay. Counter turn. 3 rights make a left. Okay, where am I? Oh, I don't have enough water. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm out of time. Oh, I dodged the catapults. That's very interesting. You wake with a start. You must have fallen asleep while reading your journal. I received petitions from members of the court. Although there are many expectations of the queens of the court, there are very few certainties. While none of your courts seem to be able to define the exact extent of your duties, privileges as queen, they're happy to make requests of you. Seeking to order the chaos, you agree to hear their petitions, but only during the designated hour near the start of the day. First in line, a young woman. I would have it that every 5th day following the week's start feature a feast of great indulgence. Having previously conferred with the court's chef, you confirm that yes, Friday will be pizza day. Let's go. Next, the cat. Meow. My bowl is empty and yet I remain unsatiated. I believe this is the work of a cruel sorcerer. Meow. Great queen, I would have you raise a host a considerable bounty, call upon the finest warriors in the land. Meow. Please consider no cost too burdensome as you work to ensure that my dinner is restored to me. You shake the cat's food bowl so the piles of kibble stuck to the sides collapse to the center. The cat immediately begins eating as you motion the line forward. Next, your scholars, Hop and Skip, approach you simultaneously with dual petitions. My petition is that you grant Hop his petition, and my petition is that you don't grant Skip hers. They look at you expectantly. Skip even pulls out a notebook. You commend them for constructing a simple paradox, but remind them you are in no obligation to grant any of their petitions. I told you that wouldn't work. On the contrary, this provides ample data as to Her Majesty's capabilities. Finally, the last petitioner, a fairy dressed in soldier's garb, approaches your desk and salutes. Your Majesty, I am dire in need of some coaching. Puzzled, you ask what particular skill or field of study he hopes to improve with. He looks around sheepishly. Well, it pains me to admit, but I do not understand the difference between offense and defense. Okay, well, in a competition or conflicts between two teams, offense usually refers to the team that's attacking. I see. So in, say, a football game, the team attempting to aggressively take the ball away from the other team must be on the offense, correct? Not quite. In most ball games, the team with the ball would be considered the offense because they're in a position to score. He frowns. Despite having to defend the ball, they're not considered defense? The teams are blurry. You can see why he might get confused. You suppose the distinction comes down to what exactly is being attacked or defended. In the case of football, it's the opposing team's goal that is considered under attack whenever the team is on the offensive. Fascinating. In the context of the war, what is the court defending? Well, or are we attacking? Do we even have a ball? Well, sometimes you... apologies, Your Majesty. I've already taken up more than your fair share of my time. I will ruminate on your considerate wisdom. He salutes again and marches away, leaving you to your own devices for the rest of the day. I'm glad that I love the cat's still there eating. That's very fun. A relatively old personal computer. You date this model to sometime in the 1980s. You remember using machines like this in your elementary school's computer lab. Plays perennially 10 years behind the cutting edge. The two courtiers observing the painting suddenly gasp and motion for you to keep quiet. Your Majesty, please. You may think highly of us, but there are no way we are worthy of knowing your age. No hints, please spare us. Vaguely aware of having committed some sort of faux pas, you proceed to hold your tongue. Yesterday was ballpark food in the cafeteria. Burgers, fried chicken, hot dogs. Hell yeah. Today, we think about war. Specifically, you think about how so many of the tools, units, spells, cards available are quite perplexing to you at first glance. Several times now, you've had the experience of reading some new card's description only to learn nothing about the details of its function. Maybe you do. I get it every time. Such ambiguity makes you nervous about purchasing or using these cards. But despite these difficulties, you think you've discovered a solution. So you've noticed the undo button is shockingly versatile during low tide. Virtually any decision you make before a battle begins can apparently be undone, including commercial transactions. Which means you have a certain amount of freedom to experiment, since you can always undo any desirable effects or purchases. Try to keep that in mind the next time you encounter some vague language. Listen, reading the card explains the card. Also open late because of the draft. How many people are actually there, Sage? All right, let's do a regular war. What do you mean? Like, how many people are there for the draft? Like, is there a lot more people than usual? Ow! I wanted to get another one and try to get those. All right, what does the vending machine have? Food and water. I don't need any water. Okay, good. It can't hit me from there. That was my hope. Okay. Guys bar. Okay, got a chest. Oh. Storage unit stands empty, a perfectly blank canvas on which you might paint. Okay. Airlift. That's fun to have in the back pocket. I maybe should have invested a little harder, and maybe I should have. Yeah, I got a lot of money though. Maybe should have invested in a little more, but archers is bad. Catapults is bad. Here's the thing. I have no idea how to deal with this dragon. Other than hopefully just collecting a bunch of food. Hell yeah. $5. Yeah. Hell yeah. Good. A shop is good. Shop is good. Oh, I just cleared the shop. Oh, my butt. Oh, I did it again. Okay, there's another shop. you and that shop have some history. Yeah, let me tell you. You know what? What if I just buy a bunch of wood? Incredible, a sign that predates written language and is comprised entirely of a single hieroglyph. I must say it's in remarkable condition for something so old, but what could it mean? Given the symbol, the scales tilting in favor of one individual, it's clear the sign marks the presence of social inequality in the vicinity. Is that so? What kind of an ancient civilization to offer a warning so that we might avoid it? Avoided? The court is literally a monarchy. Well, yes, the sign is there for a reason, wouldn't you say? Oh, 2 of 3. Or 2 of 13. Let me tell you, we're solving some problems, you know? Yeah, eat shit. Oh my God. I'm dying, Squirtle. Yeah, we gotta go to the hospital. We gotta go to the hospital, but the hospital famously doesn't just heal you. You and your courtiers observe the new billboard from atop the walls of the court. I mean, it's a good dog. Meow. Very well, I will consider him a threat until proven otherwise. Thank you, cat. Beautiful. Meow. Casper. Casper, you're being such a baby. Okay. Hospital. Restore yourself to full health at the cost of reducing your max health by 8. Well, if we do that, then we do that.
Fun and games.
Ooh.
Right.
Fun.
Fun and games.
Fuck yeah, trans rights.
Fun and games.
Bon, hello. Double alerts, or was it just me? Shouldn't be double alerts.
Trans rights.
Fuck yeah, trans
Let's
rights.
go, girls.
Bon, how are you? Ooh, a market and a shop. Lesbians. Lesbians. I wonder if Emily is sick of all of the Instagram messages I send her with all the lesbians. Hopefully not. I'm on lunch, sitting in my car with my noodle cup. How's it going? I'm secretly the queen of fairyland. So it could be worse. Okay. So I can't teleport. Okay, that still happens. Okay, great defensive spell. Great, I'm, pretty happy about that. I'm a gamer. A vaguely aquatic head peeks out from a body of water not far from the court. Your Majesty, I have good reason to believe we're looking at a rare beast known as the Leviathan. Correction, I believe you mean a kraken, dear Robin. Look, it is clearly a squid, not a snake. As loath as you are to agree, it is true that kraken is probably the more appropriate term. No, look, it's in this book. There's a photo and everything. Robin presents an old academic text on various monsters. There's indeed a photograph of the squid beast under a subheading labeled Leviathan. As you flip through the pages, you determine that the authors use the term Leviathan as a kind of subclassification of monster. Putting aside what it's called, it doesn't appear to be showing signs of aggression. If it meant us any harm, it would submerge its head the moment it spotted us. Like that? Yes, just like that. Okay, so... Achieve victory over the Leviathan. Sure, I'm right. Let me tell you, I'm right there, buddy. Let me tell you the thing I'm absolutely gonna do. First, the Leviathan exclusively attacks from water. It will strike at any threat to the left or right of any water tile. Its strikes are strong enough to decimate our units, but it can't attack anything above or below water tiles. We can use this weakness to take appropriate shelter or to strike back. If we should actually attack it, we need to destroy enough of its limbs to force its head to surface. Be warned, if we make it mad, it will begin hurling projectiles similar to those fired by catapults. It has no allegiance to enemy strong outposts. It'll attack them as it attacks us, and they'll do the same. Might be in our best interest to lay low, let the enemy and the Leviathan fight each other. I mean, that might be what we do. Yeah, look at that. What? Fuck. Speaking of lesbians, have any of you seen the movie Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter? Why is that speaking of lesbians? The 2001 Canadian horror parody superhero film deals with Jesus Christ's modern-day struggle to protect the lesbians of Ottawa, Ontario from vampires with the help of Mexican wrestler and superhero El Santa. All right. Okay. Here's the thing. I think I can just... do nothing. I got to see it in a theater with the film preceded by a talk from the director. That's cool. Yeah, because there's only gonna be 2 guys. All I gotta do is chill. All I gotta do... The Great Leviathan continues to thrash about beneath the surface. Your presence here clearly irritates it. But with little control over where the tide carries you, you have no choice but to endure that irritation. Okay, but does this mean I don't beat it unless I beat it? I guess what I need to do is leave strongholds on the map such that they might defeat lesbians. Oh, this is bad. Now, here's a question. What if I move here and then just light? Okay, so it's funny that this isn't catching on fire. The Leviathan lets out a great howl that manages to stir emotions within you. Amid the noise, you pick out a distinct feeling of resigned frustration. Your Majesty, I believe this means it's about to give up. Oh, so if I succeed one more, will it leave? I don't want to deal with birds. I don't want to deal with catapults. Oh yeah, Old Guard. Yeah. I remember, I didn't watch that, but I remember when that came out. Okay, I need to get rid of these. That's me, hold up. Don't hit me, calm down. No, stop it. Oh, you can do that, right. Gotta use your noggin. Oh, is that telling me that's the only match? And then I just use this. Because then any warriors that do get spawned will attack the mountains, not me. Leviathan loses another howl before retreating beneath the surface once more. You tentatively keep your eye on the spot where it disappeared in the void, half expecting it to surface once again, but it does not. Still, you can't help but feel weary now that you know there are creatures such as that lurking unseen beneath the surface of the tide. We did it though! Defensive victory! Having demonstrated your burgeoning skill, your tolerance for a new challenge grows. What does that mean? Your maximum level of strife increased to 1. Oh, and my comfort goes up. With the war now behind you, you encounter a memorial dedicated to its victims. Memorial to those fallen in war, casualties 41. Some among your courtiers roll their eyes at this. Oh, they'll be back. Now, having expended much of its energy during the day, the court retires to bed. You awake suddenly in your chambers. Something about your surroundings doesn't feel right. You can't see much as you look out from your balcony. The sky is pitch black. Something is clearly wrong with the courtyard. You've never seen it so disordered. The ground shakes and your stomach churns. You take a deep breath. You keep your sights on the door. Helix! Helix, thank you for resubbing for, what was the thing's all jacked up. That's weird. For 59 months. Helix, thank you so much. I don't know why they didn't pop up in the thing, but thank you so much for resubbing for 59 months. Holy sheesh. But heck yeah, we gotta, oh, I have to move. That's funny. After moving through many unfamiliar halls, you find yourself in front of the court's great gates. Perhaps the court is trying to tell you now would be a prudent time to depart, who can say. Look at the scoreboard. Oh, I got 1. You thought you were on your way to the library. Have you been here before? The stairs. You end up getting lost. There's a note taped to the door which now appears to be locked. It reads, because they wasted Her Majesty's time, these labyrinthine hallways are being reprimanded. They're currently in a timeout and will not be available again until tomorrow. East Wing, this is new. The pantry. The cat. As you approach, the cat immediately begins making demands of you. Great Queen, how fortuitous. My campaign to subdue this province in your name has reached a stalemate. The locals have transformed the train itself into a weapon. Look, the sheer cliff vexes my powerful and weighty frame. Okay, so it seems like he's probably trying to climb into one of the high shelves here and is running into trouble. Yes, and I seek your aid. Your royal height is also insufficient for this purpose. Surely such an obstacle cannot surpass the resources at your disposal. Yeah, you suppose you just pile some of the junk in here to help him out. It's not like the court's using any of it right now. You watch with a small amount of amusement and a larger amount of frustration as the pile collapses in on itself. Wait, Great Queen, your last save precedes this comical blunder. If you quit and reload right now, you can reverse your mistake. By quit and reload, he means quit the menu. Oh. Top net worth is a weird. Top net worth is a weird way. It was a weird stat to see on your save screen. Okay, so this is some weird interstitial. We've made a save. See, and now we can go in the tentacle because we beat the Kraken. Oh, now we can always go to the gift shop. While you aren't shocked to learn the gift shop has multiple locations, finding one within the court is a bit unexpected. Well, that appears to be identical to the other one. Yeah, management has no imagination. Odd, last you saw him, he was outside the court. WD who assigned to evil? That's not surprising. That was very, very, very strongly rumored. I hate it. Okay, well, hey. So I've got all the gold that I ended that run with that I can turn into tickets, which is great. Which means I can buy... I'm gonna buy the celebrity because that sounds fun. And the insurance claimant. Aristocrat, offensive job, drink health deeply of the masses. Amazing. Okay, hang on, let's go back to my office to see if there's anything weird in the office. Is that Leland? Why is he still up? Complete the pile in the pantry at night. Find a way into the library at night. You're a little surprised to discover Leland up and about as the court threatens its own dissolution. Of course, Your Majesty. Who else would be capable of delivering your last rites? Last rites? You weren't aware that you were dying? Not quite, but close. The court is liquidating and you're making an exit, which means we must close your accounts. Fortunately, as a fully ordained priest of market, I'm qualified to deliver these rites. Now, come, close your eyes, I'll read prices from the movements of the tide. As where the rumors, especially since Ios's partner, the question is basically, what on earth would they actually do with evil? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, and that's part of the problem. Leland begins chanting the prices of raw materials. Market 2. Oh, I'm bringing prices down. Have him show up in the mid card for a while, probably. Right. Have some weird, really Japanese-y entrance. Which means the value of the court's resources add up to 15. Taking into account the court's existing liquid assets of 0, along with the sell value of your cards, your total net worth amounts to 30. Congratulations, Your Majesty, this exceeds your previous record of 0. You're well on your way to meeting the valuation of 122 placed on the court by the church. Actually, now that you think of it, is he forgetting something? Man, I wish I'd known that I had all that money. What about the price of heart? The court has 33 in reserve. Does that not add any value? Not sure what you're talking about, Your Majesty. Heart is definitely not a recognized asset class of market. Should have figured as much. Now, if you'll excuse me, his duty complete, Leland takes his leave. Achieve a net worth of at least 122 gold at the end of a war. We're starting to learn our progression markers. You see and hear the participants clear. After listening for a bit, you surmise the argument concerns the thermostat in its current setting. But that cannot be satisfying. I just don't believe you could enjoy that. What? What's not to like about taking it easy? It's boring. Who cares? Boredom's underrated. Relax. You think you've heard enough and prepared to quietly leave? Hey, it's Her Majesty. Maybe she can help settle this. Actually, I believe Her Majesty is the only one who can. Okay. Our debate concerns the thermostat. It is my firm belief that only by maximizing our strife will we find any meaning in this war. Yeah, but who needs meaning, man? Let's have a good time. Let's crank up the comfort. Either way, since Your Majesty is the only one with enough authority to make these adjustments, we ask you render judgment. But should you make the correct decision and raise our strife to 5, I'll give you this. She shows you a nondescript key she has attached to a lanyard. Yeah, you know, that's gonna be hard. You should chill out and raise the comfort to 5 instead. He casually produces a different key. Then you could win this key, easy peasy. Fail to see how anything done at comfort 5 could qualify as winning. I mean, who cares? Those keys look awfully familiar. Where'd they get them? No comment. We're not permitted to reveal that information. Puck gave them to us. Thanks, comfort dude. Did you not hear what I just said? Yeah, but who cares? Her Majesty probably figured it out anyway. Ugh. As it stands, the thermostat is currently set at comfort level 3. Hey, nice work. You can call that work. You bet I call it work. Her Majesty invested time and effort. Just because it wasn't hard doesn't mean it's not work. By your standards, simply getting out of bed would qualify as work. It sure would. Their bickering continues as you quietly excuse yourself. Okay. I'm just curious how watered down it'll be. Remember Jeff Cobb? I do. Jeff Cobb ruled. Go to the chapel. Eventually, you find yourself in the court's chapel where a television displaying a test pattern stands at the pulpit. There's a solitary figure standing in front of you. You can't see him clearly, but you know it immediately be the man named Puck. As you take a step forward, the walls of the court shake with greater intensity. You wouldn't be surprised if everything were to collapse the moment you speak to Puck. You hesitate. You don't need to do this yet. There might be something else to see in the court. For instance, you haven't even tried to open the gate. Might be a while before you get another chance. No. Hey, I appreciate when games tell you that. I appreciate when games go, hey, listen, go do the thing first. Make an attempt to open the gate. They don't budge. You note that there are 4 locks, leading you to assume 4 keys of some sort will be necessary to open them. Oh wait, you left some of your keys in your chamber, didn't you? Okay, so let me go back to the chamber. So I need to get, mostly out of habit, you pick up all the keys you've managed to retrieve thus far. These keys include the key to your storage unit. And that's it. It doesn't come as a huge surprise that yes, your key fits the lock and turns with a satisfying click. You can find 3 more keys. You should be able to open the gate. Okay, so we know 1 key is in the ticket thing. We know another key is from getting comfort to 5, and another key is from getting strife to 5. Which, all right, you know, there's your win cons, right? You're earlier than expected, my queen, and yet somehow still too late. He mutters something under his breath and gives you his full attention. Well then, you had questions for me, did you not? It looks like we have precisely enough time for 1 earnest answer to your queries. You express some incredulity. He's prepared to answer your questions now? He flinches in response. My queen, you simply must wield your skepticism with greater subtlety. That statement was clearly formed as a question. A question which I'm afraid I must now answer earnestly. So, yes, in this time and place I am both willing and able to give you satisfying responses without resorting to deflection or trickery. With the one restriction that the being that, as I said, we have time for only one such response. A response which I have just provided in answer to your question of whether I am now prepared to provide such responses. He sighs, which means our time is now up. I pray I will never see you here again. And then it all falls apart. How's your week been? Good. It's been busy. It's been busy. We've got the new episode of the podcast coming out in later today, which is exciting. You know, been working to get some stuff done in the background. You know, I cooked this week. Like, it's been busy, but it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I'm gonna snooze the ad because we're about to be done. Okay. And you awake in your chambers as if nothing was ever amiss. You think you can safely conclude escaping the court will require more of you than a simple victory. I suppose this comes as no surprise given everything the potion salesman told you about needing to make an exit to return home. Well, at least you've learned that if you make it to victory, Puck will answer one of your questions. So a very slow way of going about this might be to continue winning until you've gathered enough information to see yourself out the door. You rub your temples thinking of how long that's going to take. Then you get up to face the day. And that's where we leave it. Jesse, thank you for using your Prime sub. Thank you, buddy. That is where we are going to leave it, though. That's Titanium Court. Holy cow. Holy cow. What a game. Holy cow. What a game. I think we'll have to come back. We'll have to come back and play more of this, but honestly, this stream is probably enough to say, to give you an idea of whether you like it or not, you know? This stream is almost certainly enough to tell you whether or not you would have a good time with it. There's still a bunch to do. You know, I doubt if we get the keys, then it's like, oh yeah, problem solved, you know, bish bash bosh. But I've heard a lot of good stuff about this from IGF. A lot of IGF judges were very, very high on this game. So I'm excited to dig into more of it. But I will say that we will be playing some different stuff next week. We have some different games to check out. I saw I saw someone say on Blue Sky that 110 games launched just yesterday. And that's not really like surprising because like there's a lot of games. Excuse me. But also, holy cow, 110 games is so many games. There's so many games. No, we're taking a little break from Persona. We're taking a little break from Persona because Persona is a very long game. And there's still cool indie games coming out. So this is how we're dealing with Persona taking a long time, is sometimes we might just go, hey, we're playing something other than Persona. Matt, won't that make Persona take longer? Yeah, but also, oh well. Am I checking out Loftia? I'm not now. I know Essie was playing Loftia. I have no interest in playing. But next week, Persona ain't going anywhere. Yeah, Persona ain't going anywhere. Listen, it's gonna be just as long as it is. So yeah, next week we've got some new games to check out. I'm very excited. We'll talk more about it next week. There will be a new episode of the podcast coming out later today because I have to finish it. and then it'll come out. So watch for that around 4:30 ish would be my guess. Should I have it done before the day that I'm gonna release it? Sure, probably, but you do it then. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you everybody for being here and hanging out with me. Thank you for spending time with me all this week. I hope everybody enjoys the podcast. Please check it out if you haven't. The last couple episodes have been really cool, and the episode coming out today, I'm chatting with Austin Walker, the designer of Realis and GM of Friends at the Table, and absolutely incredible interview that I still have a hard time believing actually happened. And then in May, I'm going to be chatting with Tyler Crumrine, who's the publisher of Realis, game designer in his own right, all that jazz. So look forward to that. I'm gonna send you all the stumps. It's Friday Stump Truck. They're gonna be playing Pratfall and Flock Around and all of that. Please take care of yourself this weekend. Do something nice for yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're staying happy, healthy. Keep yourself clean. Keep yourself fed. All that good jazz. I will see everybody